Hi, everybody. It's Thursday evening back. What are we? January 7th? Hold on. January 7th, 2021. It's been a couple of weeks since I've been here with you. I've missed you, every single one of you. I really did. My 2 weeks off over Christmas and New Year's felt very incomplete without being here in front of you. But I'm glad to be back. Welcome to the Financial Thing Thursday evening investment live stream. I know I title it peer-to-peer lending live stream, but it's become more of a sort of an investment live stream at this point because we do talk about other things, and as we know, things have been really challenging in the peer-to-peer lending world. And my goal for 2021 is to give you as much informed information as I can for you to make your own decisions. The information that I have, the information my gut tells me, and I hope 2021's better, right? I mean, 2020 can just piss off out the door as far as I'm concerned. It was an interesting year, but not the greatest of year. I know hopefully everybody out there is safe and healthy, but Happy New Year to everybody. Really glad you're here. Got a lot to talk about today. Yeah. Some funding secure stuff. We can talk about the Moneything administration. Lending Works. I'm pissed off with Lending Works, to be honest. Not really happy with them, but kind of going to go on a bit of a rant about that and some of the situations that I see happening, not only with them, but in the financial services industry in general. We're going to talk about what's going on in the cryptocurrency world. Crazy. I mean, can't even get on the old Coinbase account right now, which is normal too. If you have a Coinbase account and you're unable to log on for some reason, don't worry, don't freak out. It's not really a problem. They just get overloaded. But looking at the crazy, what's happening with Bitcoin over the last month has been nuts. So we're going to talk about that. Why you should be paying attention to this. Why you should be paying attention to cryptocurrency. Don't discount it. I know I discounted it for a long time. I did before 2017. I thought that it was a bunch of nonsense, and so I really became informed. So, we're going to talk about that and some other things. Just go ahead and say, if you could give me that thumbs up to get started so you don't have to worry about it later, because I will keep on nagging at you throughout the stream if I don't see the thumbs up to like 50 or 60 or 70. So go ahead and hit me the thumbs up. If you don't like my content, you can always remove your thumbs up later. I know you won't do that because you're going to love the content tonight. I'm here to give you as much value as I can. This is all free stuff. You don't have to pay for this. But let's go ahead and get started. Oh, one thing I do want to say too about the disclaimer. I always put this disclaimer up on the screen, and I'll put it up again. What I want you to get out of this is this information that I'm giving you is just information, right? And really, I would encourage you, do your own research. Don't follow just what I say, because I've gotten it wrong before, as have thousands of people. Neil Woodford got it wrong. I've gotten it wrong. I was wrong about Lendy. I was wrong about Moneything. I was wrong about collateral. I was right about Wellesley because I had written a long time ago that I thought Wellesley was going to be in some serious trouble. And I've been right about some of the companies and wrong about others. But I want you to do your own research. I followed people's investment advices before. And thank you for the thumbs down already. That's really kind. I see that. That's good. But, I followed people's investment advice before in my past, and it's come back to bite me in some cases. In other cases, it's been fantastic and terrific. So, but the one thing I never did was blame anybody for my actions, right? If I invested based on what somebody else said and it didn't work out, I just took it to be that. I made a decision based on information that they gave me, and that's my responsibility to take the responsibility for that action. So I want you guys to please do your own research and Make your own decisions. Don't get mad at me. I'm just giving you information. One of the bum ones that I took was my friend in Australia. Had me and my dad invest in this company called Norseman Gold. God, it must have been a decade ago, and that company actually went bankrupt and went to zero. So trust me, I know what it's like to invest in something and to have it go completely tits up. But I was never mad about it. It was what it was, and thankfully, I know better than to put my entire net worth into like a single investment. But anyway, I hope everybody can hear me okay. I'm just going to say hello to everybody who's in the stream. If you want a quick shout out, put your name in the chat box. Let me know where you're watching from tonight. And if you weren't here on December 17th, which was the last stream, we did a giveaway. We gave away, I think, 175 pounds of Bitcoin and Amazon gift cards. I'm going to do that again from time to time because I like giving away stuff and it makes me happy to give back to you. So everybody who won that night, thanks for joining and congratulations. I think there was only one person maybe that didn't take that gift, and I can't remember who it is, but I'll post it on the Facebook group too if you're not a member. Go to Facebook and join the Financial Thing Facebook group too. But congrats to everybody that took home some Bitcoin that night. So Aki Chap is here. Happy New Year to you in Accrington. Paul Bagworth is here. Happy New Year from Chili Kenilworth. Brian is in Woburn as always. Thank you for the New Year's wishes. I appreciate that. Norman P. Happy New Year. It can only get better. Absolutely agree. Let me take this disclaimer off there. Norman says it's freezing in Sussex. Colin Perry in the Peak District. I hope everyone who owns some Bitcoin from the last time has kept it. 100% agree. Hope you keep it for 10 years if you're smart. Peter Vince, hello from Leatherhead. Lovely and sunny, a bit chilly. I got laughed at when I told a contact near Denver that I thought it was cold here. It's very, very snowy. Chris Hay, Happy New Year from Leeds. Nice to see you. Stephen Manton in Solihull. Happy New Year. George Batchelor in Bridlington. Mark Mason, of course, here from our Facebook. I think it's the Funding Secure. I always get that confused. There's two guys in here that are very heavily involved in the Facebook Lendy and the Funding Secure Action groups. So if you haven't joined up to those, Google them. Facebook, search it. I'll put the links later. Alan Toombs is here. Hi, Alan. Mark Parsons from chilly Oldbury. I think everywhere is just chilly, right, in England right now. I'm in Orlando, and it was chilly here last night. Paul Ward in Portsmouth. Stephen Green, Happy New Year, Stephen. John Day, Happy New Year to you, 2021. Robert Pates from Crete in Greece. That's not too shabby. Mike Powell from the Lendy Action Group is here. Nice to see you, Mike. Stephen in Nottingham. David Dawson, Double D from Barlaston. I have no idea what that is. Hi, Gail. Nice to see you. Welcome to the stream. Gary Thomas from Lincoln. Happy New Year. I think Sue Lund is here. North Staffordshire and Tenerife until March. Philip from Milton Keynes. And if there's anybody I missed, I will catch up with Health and Wellness 101. What's up? Hugh here. Hugh, one of my advisors when it comes to cryptocurrency. So he's very good on that. So welcome, everybody. It's nice to see you. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in the peer-to-peer lending world. It seems to be, for 2020, there was this contraction of the peer-to-peer lending companies. It's kind of like getting rid of the bad ones and making way for the good ones. And I think we're going to continue to see that. Loanpad, still love them. I still think they're doing great things. My top 5 really hasn't changed at all. It's going to be Kuflink, Loanpad. Crowd Property would probably sneak in there at some point, I think. Now, at this point, they've been very, very solid. I haven't really seen anything concerning to me on that side of things with Crowd Property. Still like Unbolted. Does exactly what they say they do on the tin. Nothing weird going on, not trying to get into things that they don't understand. Blend Network, I don't invest through them, but if I had extra funds to put into peer-to-peer lending, I would probably go towards Blend Network. Who else? Assetz Capital. The only thing that I'm a little concerned with Assetz is these SME loans. I think that you always see what's going on in the COVID lockdown in the UK. SMEs are really going to suffer, and there's reports of these government CBILS bounce back loans that they're saying maybe up to a 60% default rate. How does Assetz Capital get affected by that if they have a lot of defaults? But I think also Assetz has positioned themselves to be able to handle those bumps in the road, so I'd still consider them to be, pretty stable. And we're going to talk about their fees too, that they are going to be removing. Kind of missed that because it was before the new year, so we'll talk about that. But so let's look at Loanpad. Their loan book has actually increased a little bit from a couple of weeks ago. They were at 15.2 million, increased to 17.9 million. Now 41 loans on the book. Again, Loanpad exactly does what it says on the tin. Pays daily interest. I really no complaints at all. Their loan to value is still extremely low at 37%. They've got a pretty decent lender base now of over 2,400. Only one defaulted loan. They've got 4 overdue loans and 3 extended ones, but only 2 that are being drawn from the interest coverage fund, which is like their provision fund, which is still at about 27,000 out of 40,000. So some cushion there, not much, but I think Loanpad are just straight and steady as far as peer-to-peer goes. And peer-to-peer is a difficult marketplace to navigate. If you've come from the old school of investing over the last 5, 6, 7 years, you've seen the collapse of a couple of bad companies, and some of it was probably not the fault of the companies themselves. I don't know. I mean, obviously Lendy, there's allegations of fraud in there, which I wouldn't be surprised if that comes out to be true. Funding Secure, Collateral just did what they didn't know what they were doing, apparently. Thought they were FCA regulated and they weren't. If that's true, maybe they knew the whole time. Who knows? But I think some of the companies that have fallen onto difficult times has been a result of the economy and probably COVID. It was like the nail in the coffin, Growth Street being one of them. But Loanpad seems to be the shining star for me at the moment. Again, do your own research. This is just my thoughts and feelings about it. We're going to have a bit of a rant about LendingWorks at the moment because I feel like I know that they're putting their interest rates up, but I think at this point I've decided to just draw down. It's annoying that they've changed the way that they work, especially with this 2% fee. I just not really feeling that comfortable with them. I used to be okay with them, but I think at this point I'll probably be done with them unless they turn around. I don't like this changing of the terms and conditions of, hey, this is what we say we're going to do at one point, and then we flip it around and do something else. I know sometimes it's needed, but like this Shield Fund thing is supposedly has $1.2 million in it, but yet I, as an investor, am paying out money out of my account. I don't really understand how everything is working over there at the moment, and whenever things are not clear to me, I start to get a little bit annoyed. Do I think they're in trouble or something like that? I don't think so, but again, who knows what's going on behind closed doors. And the other thing that really pisses me off is that on the front page of their website, they advertise, the fair and simple peer-to-peer lender. I mean, are they fair? Is that really accurate? Isn't that kind of misadvertising a little bit about the product that they offer? I think there's tons of misadvertising too in the financial services industry, not peer-to-peer, just peer-to-peer, but also, look at the way that the bonds were advertised. Risk is not very well presented now, I think, a lot of these companies. And this is kind of what duped me at the very beginning when I started investing in peer-to-peer lending was I would look at a website and I couldn't really tell how risky a product was. It all seemed good from the way it was presented. I know that the FCA is trying to be more diligent on the way that they allow these companies to advertise, but when I went to LendingWorks' website and I see that they're advertising fair, are they fair? I don't think they're fair. So false advertising, right? Yeah, whatever. That's my rant on them. Let me know what you think in the comments if you agree or not. Not really much happening at RateSetter. I know there was an email. I forgot to write it down, but they're going to be not allowing ISA accounts now, ISA retirement accounts. I still go by my original theory that I think eventually they will close down their retail peer-to-peer lending, and Metro Bank will be steering the rudder of that ship. It'll eventually just become institutional. And I'm not mad at RateSetter. It was one of my first investments, actually my very first one. I just think it's unfortunate what happened. And then they got taken over, which is not a terrible thing. The interest rates obviously dropped. It is what it is with them. They'll always have a little special place in my heart, RateSetter. Thank you. And they were always kind to me, Mario over there when he left, but he was open door policy for me to come in and ask questions. And David Battersby, who was the marketing chief over there. So I don't really have anything too bad to say about them. What about Kuflink? Surpassed £100 million in lending. Congratulations to Kuflink. Narinder, CEO of Kuflink, is going to be here. So he says, I'm going to hold him to this. January the 21st, I'm going to have Kuflink CEO live on the stream so you guys can ask questions or throw tomatoes at him, whatever you want. If you want to ask a question, just email or put it on the Facebook group. I'll put a post up there. And if you have questions, put them up there. It's going to be on January 21st, which is actually day before my birthday. So January 21st, Narinder from Narinder Couture. I think that's the way to say his last name, from Kuflink. So good job on them. I think they're going to be doing good things in 2021. They said they've had a great year. 2020, they're profitable. Obviously, there's some risk. Of course, you're never going to get paid an interest rate of 7% without taking risk. So be aware, there is risk involved. There's no free rides on any of these investments. Assetz Capital, I looked at the discount this morning all the way down to 1.7%, exactly as I predicted. Not trying to blow my own trumpet here, but these discount rates continue to fall. I sold out some cash that I had in there, QAA, just to test it. The quick access accounts, got the money straight away, sold out at a 2.4% discount rate. So Assetz Capital, you probably already know this is going to be getting rid of their fee. They'll taper it off. February reduction by 25%. So 50%. Let's say we'll reduce it by 25% in February, by 50% in March, 70% in April, and it will be hopefully completely eliminated in May onwards. No guarantee of this. I guess it depends on economic conditions, but that's their plan of action. Good news, it's been too long. They've had that since it's been almost a year with that 0.9% annual fee. So time for that to go. Bye-bye fee. Hate you. Hate fees, right? Who hates fees? I hate fees. I think they're gross. Disgusting. But businesses have to make money. I always said I'd rather pay a fee than have a business go out of business. So I read this news report about a new peer-to-peer lending company that will be launching in 2021 called Connective Lending, which is going to be a pawnbroking style business. And then I read one of the co-founders is Norman Akram, who was he was the co-founder of Funding Secure. So I would have to say that that would not be a company I will be putting any money into. Sorry, Norman, but after getting burned once, I don't see any want or need to try to risk doing anything with your business again. But if you feel like you want to have a stab at a pawnbroking peer-to-peer lending company, there you go. It's going to be out there. Let me go ahead and just post the links to some of the resources that I think are important for you to join here. Let's go ahead and copy this in. Copy. There's my chat box. We got the Funding Secure Action Group. If you're a investor through them, you want to keep abreast of their administration progress. This is the Lendy Action Group by Mike Powell. Is one of the collaborators on there who's here in the chat with us tonight. So there you go, right there. And the Financial Thing Facebook group. Actually, there's also the Wellesley and Company Action Group. If you are an investor through them and you want to be a part of that, I highly recommend join all of these action groups if you are investors any of these companies, because it's good to have a collective of people that are trying to do the best thing for investors, and that's what these action groups are there for. And here is the Facebook financial group. On Facebook, come on, the Financial Thing Facebook group. So come and join that. Come and chat with us on there. What else we got? Yeah, so that was Connective Lending is going to be the new peer-to-peer pawnbroking company. So December 21st, we get the news of the Moneything administration. I can't remember if I talked about this. I probably didn't because it happened after the last live stream. Not really much information about how things are going to progress forward. There was a funny line in the letter, but Moorfield is the administrator. If you want to read more about this, if you just Google Moneything on the financialthing.com site, just search for that. I have some thoughts and feelings about the Moneything administration. So what happened? Obviously, they've written some loans that have gone bad. One of the interesting lines that they put on the letter when they explained about that they were going into administration was that the appointment of the administrator is not expected to have material impact on lenders and borrowers. First thing I thought about that, I was like, well, of course it is, because being in administration is going to have a huge impact on both lenders and the borrowers. But actually really not much has changed, because Moorfields was handling some of the defaulted loan problems anyways. It's going to take a long time. This is probably going to be a 2 or 3 year process, just like the other administrations. And obviously lenders are going to be impacted because they're going to lose money. Capital will be lost because the administrators are going to charge their hefty fees, just like with Funding Secure and Lendy. And then also Moneything cited borrower litigation as being one of the things that took them down into administration. They have been in a litigation lawsuit with a borrower. I don't know the details because honestly I haven't researched it. But I do know that litigation is very expensive and paying for lawyers is expensive. If you're a lawyer watching this, congrats to you because you're probably pretty wealthy. But Moneything probably doesn't want to continue or cannot continue to pay these legal fees, so I thought maybe that was what took them down. Maybe that was the final nail in the coffin. But they've been involved in a lawsuit that's ongoing with a borrower. Maybe somebody else knows more about it than I do. But, as more things come out with the Moneything administration, I will give you updates when I'm here every week on that. Not much to tell at the moment. What else? Lendy. There was a update. You can see it on Lendy's website. There was an update on December the 20th showing the progress. I haven't been through the whole file. I'm going to go through it this week. I haven't had time to do it. But one thing I did look at is at the fees the administrators have estimated for May 2019 to May 2021, which are £3.9 million. That's their estimated fee. It's a lot of money that will be sucked out of the any recoveries that are made when, if or when any of these loans are recovered. They've requested £3.1 million in fees and collected so far £1 million in fees. I expect they'll get paid out at some point. Mike Powell will know more about that, but it's kind of been a bit of a debacle, a lot of a debacle, what's going on with Lendy. Things don't seem to be moving quickly, so expect that to drag on to God knows when. Interest rates, if you're a saver in the UK, Paragon dropped their interest rate from 0.75% a year to 0.5%. Now, inflation is about, last reported, 0.3, 0.4%. So your savings are barely keeping ahead of inflation. If you have a lot of money in savings, you're going to be losing money in the long run because your money is going to become worth less as time goes on. So if you don't need to keep a lot of money in savings, I would recommend trying to find somewhere to put that cash that will allow it to work for you. I think savings for me personally, I would say 6 months of my living expenses is where I try to be. I don't try not to have too much more than that. Because again, anything that you have stashed away in savings, yes, it's safe. Yes, it's FCIS protected if you're in the US, FDIC protected. But at the end of the day, it's going to cost you. If you're very conservative and you're afraid to invest, I would urge you to start, looking at places that you can put this money and just sometimes you got to take a bit of a leap of faith because having money sat in a savings account, especially these saving rates, and they're not going anywhere. We're never going to get back to 2, 3, 4, 5% bonds and guaranteed bonds and government bonds. It's just not going to happen. Interest rates are going to be low for a long time. So you kind of got to let go of some of that fear of investing and put your money to work if you can. Maybe if you have millions of pounds and dollars and you don't need the cash and it's just sitting in your savings account, okay, fair play to you. But for the most of us, we have to try to stay ahead of inflation. Just things like gasoline, petrol is going up about 2% a year. So you're getting 0.5% on your money in a bank. It's not a good look. By the way, we're going to really try to keep the stream short tonight. I'm racing through this information for you. Please hit that thumbs up again. I don't know what we are. How are we? 37 and 1 thumbs down. Thank you for the thumbs down because that keeps me motivated to keep going. I love motivation. And I think that's pretty good. Only 1 thumbs down. I mean, percentage-wise, I'll take that. It's what, like 0.25%? Yeah, I like that. I like 0.25% thumbs down. That's good. Oh, there's another one. Thank you. You just gave me, what are we, 0.5% now? So you can keep them coming. I don't get offended whatsoever. I don't. Because I know you guys really love me and you just do that to mess with me. I remember the one time my mic cut out and there was no audio and you were giving me the thumbs down. What happened? What's going on? What else can we talk about? Let's talk about what's going on with cryptocurrency. If you pay any attention to the financial services world, you're going to see that Bitcoin has gone absolutely mental. Even now, I'm just looking at the price. I predicted we were going to be 40K by the end of the summer. And wow, I was so wrong with that. I mean, it happened today at a high of 40,425 dollars, sorry. And where is my little graph? I had a graphic that was pretty cool. I wanted to show you the journey of Bitcoin, where it's come from. I'm going to pop this up on the screen. It's really interesting. See if I got this right. Yeah, here you go. Let me turn that comment off. So you can see down here, February 2011, $1. I looked at it when I think it was $5 when I first looked at it, but of course didn't pull the trigger. I was going to put $1,000 in. That was my thought. Never made it. Never pulled the trigger. That would have been the financial game over, right? 500 coins, whatever. 250 coins, game over. But you can see the progression from $1 and how we've seen this crazy run from December 2020 of a doubling from $20,000 to $40,000. Obviously, there's really no rhyme. There's no crystal ball to say what's going to happen with this Bitcoin, but I've told you about the video that I've seen that's on YouTube. You can Google it, the $10 million Bitcoin plan. I think it's titled. Just Google $10 million Bitcoin. We saw the Ripple lawsuit, which freaked out some investors. The SEC is suing one of the companies that issues a Ripple cryptocurrency. And people got a little bit spooked by that. But the end game, I think, for Bitcoin, I'm very bullish on it. And I think it's going to be something that's very, very long-term buy and hold. And there's a chance, I was talking to one of the guys who's in the chat right now. Hugh is an old friend of mine. He's very big into cryptocurrency. Had a good conversation with him this morning. He was giving me his thoughts that he sees a correction coming because it's really unsustainable, right? I mean, to go from 20,000 to 40,000 in 8 weeks, it's unsustainable. It can't continue to go like that. We've seen a 100% increase in the last month and a 35% increase in the last week. It's not sustainable. Obviously, it's going to correct at some point. So if you're not a cryptocurrency, investor, and you're looking at these prices going, oh God, I mean, I just can't buy in here. There could be a correction coming, maybe up to 50%. So what is a good idea would be to set some limit option buy targets. So if you have a Coinbase account, just like a stock trading account, you can go ahead and set the prices of where you want to be with that. So for instance, if you want to buy at $20,000 or $18,000, you could just set limits to whatever you want to spend for it to automatically trigger purchases at that point. And I'm going to be making a video about that because I'm going to be setting some of those buy options myself in Coinbase Pro. So I may live stream it if you want to tune in. It's not going to be anything I'll advertise. I'll probably just live stream it later or tomorrow. But see, the problem with cryptocurrency, if you're looking to get in at certain price points, it moves so fast because right now it's volatile. So there was a time when I wanted to buy in at 28,000 just a few days ago, and it happened in the middle of the night. So cryptocurrency is trading 24 hours a day, and within an hour it was already back up to over 30,000. So I missed it because I didn't set those buy orders at the price that I wanted to pay for the crypto. So that really is something that if you are thinking about getting into it, that's something you can do. You can set buy orders just like you would on a stock, which will allow you to get in at the price you want. For me, it's a very long-term game. I think, I'm probably holding for 10 years. And if it hit 500,000 or $1 million for Bitcoin, I wouldn't be surprised at all. I'd be very happy. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be totally shocked if it tanks down to a low amount either. You're going to see that volatility. A lot of institutions are coming in now, buying a lot of Bitcoin. It's starting to become recognized by some pretty big financial institutions and hedge funds. You can buy now. There is a fund now that you can buy Bitcoin through. So if you want to buy it through a retirement account and you're able to invest, that way you can buy it. It has a premium on it because it's a fund, but you can do it that way. And today, Coinbase, by the way, it went down for a while, and it's always easy to freak out because we've seen websites go down in the past, and you think, God, have they just run off with all the cryptocurrency that I have in the account? No, it's just there's so much volume being traded in these coins right now because you're seeing this huge bull run that the website just can't handle the amount of traffic, and the servers are incapable of the amount of trades that are going on. It's been like that for a while. So, that's what's going on with cryptocurrency. The coins that I have right now, mainly Bitcoin. I have some Ethereum. I think Ethereum is going to do well. Hugh, my esteemed old friend, said, not old in age, even though he's pretty old, but he thinks a price target of $10,000 on Ethereum. It's about $1,100. Some people think it's gambling. It's not. Once you understand what cryptocurrency is, and I'll tell you why it's not gambling. This is just one reason. Try sending $10 to somebody who lives in a different country and see how hard that is and how expensive it is. It's very difficult, and you can send cryptocurrency to anybody anywhere in the world very easily, very cheaply. You will have some volatility possibilities. You may even make some money off your $10, but it's really going to be changing the way that the financial industry works. I believe that blockchain, the technology. Hugh was telling me today about a coin called Synthetics. It's going to allow people to be able to have exposure to stocks. It could be tied to like Apple's price. So somebody in a country that can't buy Apple stock can buy some exposure into Apple stock through Synthetics, which is run on an Ethereum token. There's just so many possibilities about how these crypto coins and tokens and how blockchain can really change the way things are. Now, obviously, there's risk. I mean, a complete ban by governments would screw everything up. Don't really see how you can do it. Probably be like the International Monetary Fund coming in and just banning everything, banning the platforms that trade crypto. If you can't buy the crypto, it's very difficult at that point. But it's not a high probability of that happening, very low probability. And then you're going to have volatility. It's going to be volatile for a while. If you think, well, I'm not going to buy cryptocurrency because of the volatility, that's not, in my opinion, always going to be that way. The volatility will start to settle down, especially as more institutions and it becomes widely accepted as a form of investing. Then the volatility will eventually start to calm. And I wouldn't say that's a reason not to buy cryptocurrency. I think if you don't look at cryptocurrency now, you're probably going to miss out on an opportunity that doesn't come along very often. Again, do your own research. Don't take what I say for granted. But there isn't many opportunities that come along where you could 10x your money relatively quickly, maybe within a 5-year period, maybe 100x your money. It just doesn't come along. The risk to reward is so crazy. I mean, you've got your risk down here and your reward is massive. I can't even fit the reward up on the screen. It's so big, the possibility of reward. So you put $1,000 in and it 10x's or 50x's, Bitcoin goes to $500,000. What have you really risked? $1,000, to get a really big upside. So there are naysayers. I understand. It's a difficult thing to understand, but I've definitely become more educated. I've become more interested in it. I'll be buying and holding for the next 10 years. I think it's going to do better than peer-to-peer lending. I mean, so we've gotten burned on that in some cases. So yeah, I don't think it's a Ponzi scheme too. I've read things like that about it being a Ponzi scheme. No, you have to really learn about it and what it is, and I don't think it's a Ponzi scheme, but that's what I got to say about crypto. It's going wild right now. It wouldn't be surprised if it dropped 50% tomorrow, but I would certainly be buying in if it did. I'll be putting in buy orders. Even seen Ripple. The Ripple is the coin, and the company is getting sued by the SEC in America, and it dropped down to 24 cents. And I thought, if they beat the lawsuit, that coin could really do well. But then I didn't pull the trigger at 24 cents. It's at 32 cents today. But why take the risk, right? I mean, there's probably better places to put money. But anyway, I'm going to, if you have any questions or comments about any of the stuff I'm rambling on about, please feel free. Put it in the chat. I will have a look through your comments, see if there's anything interesting. We are going to finish under an hour today. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Last time I guaranteed, I think I had to donate £100 to charity, so it could be an expensive night. So, hi, Albert Adams in Clent. Where is Clent? I've heard of Kent. I don't know if you meant Kent. Clent. Alan's in Basingstoke. Yes, the disclaimer was on for a long time. Hi, ES. I think you're in Portugal still. Chica Boy is here, of course. AccuChap's right-hand man. So Brian says crypto appears to be getting more acceptance from corporate investors. That must give it greater credibility. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, when the institutions jump on board, you know, the credibility is there. They can also make the markets volatile because if they have very big holdings in this, you know, cryptocurrency and they exit for some reason, you might see that volatility. But it's going to become more widely acceptable unless some kind of a disaster happens. You'll see more and more institutions coming on board. Also, another thing you can do with cryptocurrency, which is interesting, you can do this thing called staking, where you stake your cryptocurrency and receive an interest rate. Ethereum is going to be one of the coins that you can stake soon. I don't think it's happening yet, but for probably 5%. So you can get a 5% APR on your annual. That's annual, by the way. 5% APR on your Ethereum. And if you're holding it long term, I mean 10 years, then 5 years, whatever, a year, 2 years, why not take the staking rewards? So that would be another reason why more institutions would come on board into cryptocurrency. If they say, oh, there's no yield on anything right now, you can't get anything in bank accounts, there's no yield on bonds, it's very low, but cryptocurrency is now offering yields, so it makes it more attractive to institutions. It's pretty interesting. Let's see. Well, I'm getting pretty good at reading these comments quickly. Norman P says, very slow getting money into loans with Bend. I think you mean Blend, Norman? Yeah, it's always a demand and supply thing. When you find a good peer-to-peer lending company, you see the investor money's funneling in and it becomes harder to get in to the loans. But I would say that's a good thing. It means that Blend is doing the right things with their lending. Stephen Hale agrees with that. Arthur Atchison is here from Belfast, the COVID capital of the world. Yeah, it's crazy what's going on with the infection rates in the UK. Unbelievable. Hopefully you're all staying home. Paul New is here from Stockport. The stream is for millionaires now. That's true. If you had some Bitcoin, you might be a millionaire right now. Paul Wood says, I agree with your perspectives in lending works drawing down my investment. Yeah, not really happy. Steve agrees with that too. Chris Haig was smarter than us. He withdrew completely from lending works last March. I was so happy with them for a good amount of time. It was, yeah, anyway. Robert Paints is enjoying his rate setter investment now. Yeah, I mean, the rates are so low now. There's just really no point in sticking with them at the moment. Paul New bought Bitcoin and it's climbing. Yeah, the best thing you can do, if you buy it, just ignore it. Don't look at the stupid price fluctuations every day, because today you're going to look at it and be super happy. But next week you could be looking at it thinking, what the hell did I do? You know, there's a lot of emotional ties to that, especially if you have any significant amount of money, just like a stock. You know, one of the stocks I have in my portfolio, I think it was down. It's the one I've been talking about that I've been loving, Magnite. There was a short sale company. Short sale trading is where, you know, these big research companies short a stock and then they put out this press release all over the web, and because they're big companies, they're able to influence what people do, and they put out this short report about Magnite, which I think is a good company, saying that Magnite is going to tank and and I watched Magnite go from, I think it was up 110% from when I bought it, go down to 60% in a mere couple of days. And my emotional attachment to it is like, oh God, maybe I should be selling Magnite. The best thing to do if you believe in a company or you believe in a fund or a Bitcoin, just don't even watch it. If you're a long-term holder of an investment, your best just to stop logging into your accounts, because you don't want to make a bad decision based on an emotional thought or feeling that you're having. ES said, what's that about rate setters stopping the IFISA? I've got one with them. I haven't received anything from them about this. Yeah, that if you already have one, they're not changing that. It's for new. They're not allowing any new IFISA, so don't panic. Kuflink's Norman says some of the Kuflink loans risks do not match their interest rates. Absolutely agree with that. Not all of Kuflink's loans are good. There's a lot of them I don't invest in. You have to read the documents. You got to read what the loan is. Stay away from the second charge loans that offers 7% returns. Those are way not worth it. So as Mike says, rate sets are stopping new ISA or ISA transfers. Existings carry on. Yep, keep calm and carry on. I know my chat is a little bit delayed, so I might be answering things that have already been answered. ES says, I don't really like rate setter or lending works anymore, but run out of places to go. Stock market is crazy at the moment, too. Yeah, stock market is a little bit crazy, but again, if you're long-term, 5+ years, I'm still investing. I bought stuff last week. Five years. I mean, for me, it's a 15-year investment, so I'm not worried about it. As far as running out of places to go, yeah, I mean, there aren't too many. There's probably like 7 peer-to-peer companies I think I would invest through if I was starting off today. So you got some options. I still like the stock market myself. I think long term it's going to be fine. It always has been. I mean, what have we gone up from 18,000 in the Dow in March of 2020 to now over 30K? Is it past? I don't think it's past 30 today. Oh yeah, we did 31,059 points on the Dow. Oh my goodness, I'm looking at some of these biotech stocks, 15-16% jumps in one day. It looks like the stock market looks like it's just bubbling, right? If you look at things fundamentally. But my argument is this. You got a new U.S. president, especially if you're looking at the U.S. markets. And I know some of you invest in the FTSE. I personally don't. I'm not a fan of it. But because I'm a U.S. investor, I do primarily U.S. stocks. I think I own 2 UK stocks, Lloyds Bank, and a very small stake in Tullow Oil, part of the Trading 212 portfolio. By the way, if you haven't seen the video update, go check it out. It's on the Financial Thing YouTube channel. But I think what's going to happen is the new U.S. government is just going to keep pumping money in stimulus into the economy. They're going to keep buying bonds on the market, and as long as that money keeps getting pumped in, that stock market is going to continue to thrive. They cannot stop that stimulus now. It's almost like they're tied to it at this point. It'll be like pulling a plug out. Eventually, the plug's going to get pulled, and everything corrects. I'm not sitting here telling you the stock market's going to go up forever. It won't. It will eventually correct. It did in March, and eventually it's going to happen again. But you cannot not invest because you're worried about corrections. I mean, investing monthly is the smartest thing. Dollar cost average in or pound cost average. It means you're putting in a certain amount of money every month and you're riding the highs and the lows. Eventually it will all average out for you. I think that's a good way to do it if you're afraid of the markets. That way, if you're buying at 30,000 in the Dow today and it drops to 28 tomorrow, next month it drops to 27, you buy in at 27. Next month it drops to 24, you buy in at 24. It's all going to average out for you. That's the smartest way. And by the way, young people, if you're watching out there, start investing in your 20s. Don't procrastinate. I put some short videos on the YouTube channel about that. I'm very passionate because nobody really explained this to me when I was in my 20s. I wish somebody had sat down and said, start while you're young, because the biggest advantage that you have is time. When you're in your 20s, you have that time of the years to ride the volatility and continue to invest and take advantage of this magical thing, which is called compound interest. The best thing in the world, compound interest. Hold on, I have to play the party noise. Compound interest for the win. Very, very important. So if you're young and you're watching this, or even 30s or 40s, start investing. Stop procrastinating. Yeah, George Batchelor says, totally agree on lending works. I pay every month to the Shield. No interest since May. I've already set up to withdraw repayments from wind down. Yeah, it's annoying. I agree, 100%. Debbie of Mixed Media Arts is here. Greetings from the Grand Cayman. Ew, Debbie is not a bad place to be. Debbie was one of our winners of the December 17th live stream Christmas giveaway. Hello, Hi-Fi in Northwest Derbyshire. Nice to see you. See what else. Again, put questions in the comments. Paul said, hope we don't end up with a Bitcoin action group. There'll never be a Bitcoin action group. I predict that pretty accurately. If that thing goes down the toilet, yeah, it's completely unregulated. Hi, John Day. Nice to see you. Philip Waters, have you ever withdrawn from Coinbase as a test? Reviews are generally negative. No, I haven't, but I will. I can withdraw from there and see how long it takes. I'll make a video about it. Not a big deal. Paul News says, I use Vanguard and trading 212 in 2 months. I'm up 10%. Thanks for the heads up. Market shot up with Biden win. Yeah. It can go up. It can go down. Who knows? Steve Manton said, recently started buying crypto through Coinbase and Coinbase Pro. So far, so good. Easy trading. Hope Bitcoin keeps going up to make up for lending works losses. Again, buy and hold, Steve, would be my advice. Yeah, wasn't it crazy what happened in the US at the Capitol Hill yesterday? I'm not a Trump fan. I'm going to say it. I'm not. I think he's a lunatic. Stuff he was saying. Crazy. John Day says, a speaker from Fidelity was rather dismissive about crypto today. No surprise there. Of course. Yeah, I mean, Warren Buffett, he's been crypto naysayer for a long time. There's been a bunch of heavy-hitting financial people that have been naysayers of crypto. They'll say it's a bubble and there's no value to it. And then some of them have completely 180'd and started buying into it. So people are allowed to change their mind. I have. I changed my mind on things. So I used to be a big naysayer about buying individual stocks. I think that it's okay to have a percentage of your stock portfolio that's in individual stocks to try to get a better return. Things change. Like when you're in a crazy bull market, why would you not take advantage of potential big gains? I just wouldn't put a lot in, not too much. So people change, strategies change. Paul News says, I put money in crypto, happy, 75% increase. Yeah. Don't be surprised if it goes down, just saying. It can happen. It will happen at some point. So trading 212 stopped people buying a Bitcoin ETF. Don't know. Is that true? Peter Clark says, I have and will avoid crypto as I do gambling. It relies on others wanting to pay more rather than any underlying value, rather like a Ponzi. Yeah, Peter, I totally respect your opinion. I don't share the same opinion about that, but, you're not the first person to say that. John Day said, enjoyed winning the Bitcoin last time, but Coinbase still says a few more days to authorize account, but no info as to why. Any advice? Some people, they get caught in the verification that you're not the first. It's happened to lots of people I know. You just be patient and send them an email. Send them a support email and ask them what's going on. It'll get cleared eventually. David Dawson, still not sure I'm happy about crypto. Just cannot convince myself that something not based on something real. How can it be priced? I get it. I totally understand. Is a stock real? Let me ask you that. It's not something you can hold in your hand. You know, a pound coin you can hold in your hand, right? A stock obviously is valued completely differently. Sometimes the fundamentals of stocks do not match what the stock is actually doing. I mean, I'm looking at it today. I've got a couple of positions in some biotech gene therapy stocks that, I mean, look at Tesla, right? I mean, some of it doesn't make any sense. So you could say the same thing. Is it something is it something real? Is a stock something real? Yeah, you own a piece of a company, but is it real? George Aramanis says, how can a currency this volatile be used in daily life? Imagine the pound being that volatile. Yeah, so it's a good question, George. What I would say to you is you're going to see this, how can I say, this flowering, this development. The cryptocurrency is very young. We're talking about 9 years, right? A little bit younger than 9, a little bit older than 9 years. Remember when the internet first came out and we were on dial-up? And could anybody have thought that the internet would ever turn into what it is today? We started on 56K or 24K dial-up, and now we have this blazing broadband speeds, and then in probably a year's time we're going to get our internet from space, right? So the volatility of Bitcoin, what you're seeing now, it's in its young infancy stage, and what I predict will happen is it will start to settle down. There'll be less traders, and there are less traders now. Even if you're looking at the volatility of Bitcoin, it's started to calm down even from where it was months and months ago or years ago. So you're going to see it's going to change, and it's going to morph. And I don't know about the other coins. They may forever be volatile, but eventually I predict you're going to see a settling down in this volatility. It's going to take a while, and this is why I say make it a buy and hold project. If you're trying to flip them, sure, okay. If that's what you want to do, you want to trade crypto, I don't know. I don't have any experience in trading crypto. I tried it with a little bit of money as a test, and I tried it with Ripple? Orchid. It was a 25 pence crypto coin. I thought, oh, maybe there's some money to be made trading just as a test. I put in a couple £100, bought some Orchid at 30p, went up to 35. I traded out, waited for it to drop 10%, traded out, bought more. And then it went up to 50p, and then I bought more at 50, and then it tanked all the way down to 25p. The volatility is there. I don't know what will happen to those smaller coins, but the bigger ones, you know, Bitcoin's going to be $1 trillion coin if it already didn't surpass that. And the volatility will start to calm down as it becomes more settled and older and more established. That's my belief. No crystal ball, but yeah. There you go. Yeah, and again, Stephen makes a great point. Gamble with what you can afford to lose. You know? I mean, you put £1,000 in and it goes up 50 times, you're going to make 49 grand. If you lose it and it goes down to nothing, which it won't, I mean, 99% chance Bitcoin goes to zero, but you've lost 1,000. Do it with 100 if you feel that way, you know. I'll buy as much Bitcoin. If Bitcoin went down to 5 grand tomorrow, I would buy as much as I could. That's the truth. I wouldn't, not the entire savings, life savings, but I'd definitely sink a lot more money into it. Yeah, like John says, certain risk yet possible terrific outcome. I mean, you've seen it. $3,000 in March, 39 topping 40,000 today. So there's your risk to reward. You know, if you'd have, And a lot of it is about having some guts to be able to buy in when it's dropping. The best time to buy in is when everybody else is selling. I already went over an hour. See, I mean, what is it with this hour? I just cannot. It's the comments. Mike says FCA has banned marketing of the crypto ETF. Yeah, that's a mistake too. The FCA just can't get anything right too, by the way. So it doesn't surprise me that they would ban marketing. It'll change. That's just a way of the government trying to crack down. It'll change. Peter says, yeah, if someone wins, surely someone else must pay. There's always a winner and loser in a trade. Absolutely. There's a buyer and a seller, just like in the stock market. Same with cryptocurrency. Somebody sells it to you for a pound and you buy it for a pound and then drops to 50p, and he owned it at 50p and sold it to you as a pound. You're the loser, he's the winner. Dave says you can get some good yields on investment trust. That is true. I agree. Mike says it's a technical definition, so maybe 212 pulled it pending advice. The ban started yesterday. Don't know if that will continue. I'm not sure. I'll look into that. Paul News says crowd property is so slow to invest. Yeah, again, you get a good peer-to-peer lending company, a lot of people coming in. Too much money in, not enough loans. But I think you'll start to see that ramp up after the new year. It's now passed. Dave Dawson says, I love the renewable energy investment trust for an increasing dividend. Dave Dawson is our dividend man. I should call him Dividend Dave. Dividend Dave Dawson. You've just been upgraded to Triple D. He's really big into the whole dividend investing, which, works. In some cases, I like dividends too. I think dividends are good. You're just not going to get the growth out of these shares that offer high dividends. ETF trust or fund all have merits and different returns and costs, worth comparing them all. Absolutely agree. Nikhil Ramnarine, welcome to you. Nice to see you. He says, what is my feeling on gold? My feeling on gold is the same as oil. I think we're going to see good returns on gold and oil. She bought some oil stock in the Trading 212 portfolio. Check it out on the YouTube channel. So, bought a company called Laredo Oil. It's done really well. Gold, yeah, I think gold's a safe haven. I think a gold ETF is probably a really good way to go if you don't want to own physical gold. You can get the ETF GLD, which is the gold ETF. I need to buy more gold. When I get some cash, I'm going to put some more into gold. John says, hi, late to the parade. Sorry. Very bad, John. Get here on time or you'll be banned from the stream forever. No, I'm just kidding. I got my investment released today. I think this confirms the ends of retail investing with them. Yeah, I don't know if it confirms the end of it, but I think it's coming. C. Whittle, nice to see you. Welcome to the stream. I haven't seen your name before, so if you're new. What do I think of cannabis stocks? Oh God, do I get on my cannabis rant? I bought some. I bought a stock called ACB, Aurora Cannabis Canadian Company, and I watched it go down 25%. That was one of those emotional ones, right? Where I'm like, crap, what do I do here? I think cannabis stocks are going to do well. I think they're going to be profitable, but they're volatile. So if you can buy and hold, you don't mind taking the risk. I don't know really other individual stocks that I would look at. I just looked at ACB and probably hold it. I don't see me selling it for a while. Dave said he invested in BlackRock World Mining. Yeah, I have a small position in GDXJ, which is a gold mining ETF. Not a huge amount, but yeah. John said, agree about the stock market. I thought the FTSE would drop with lockdown and it rallied. Yeah. Do a comparison too. If you think that, what I say about the FTSE is doesn't ring with you or doesn't resonate with you, just pull up a chart long term from say 1990 to now and look at the FTSE compared to like the S&P 500. You're just going to see this huge lag. Even you could go back further than that. You can go back to as long as the chart will go back, and you're going to see the same thing. You'll see an occasional where it gets a little bit closer, but in general, S&P 500 far outperforming the FTSE. Dave says, I've read a lot about the magnetic material going into the Tesla car motors. Yeah, Tesla is really strange what's happening with their price of the stock too. I mean, just wild ride if you're a Tesla stock owner. The cars are not great. Quality of the cars, I've got a friend of mine that owns one, and some people have not had any issues. He's had some issues, but the stock just seems to be absolutely going on fire. What I'm more interested in is Starlink, Elon Musk's internet project where he's blasting these satellites into space and he's going to provide internet to the world. I mean, if they ever go public, that would be one of the first companies I would buy into. I just think that's insane that you can offer broadband gigabit internet to anywhere in the world. Insane. I mean, it's game changing, I think. Yeah, Norman says, I wish I had the money when I was young. I mean, even if you're young and you're putting in £20 a month, you'll be surprised how it can add up, Don't think because you're young you can't get started because you don't have any money. That's a bunch of BS. Go look at your credit card or your debit card and see where you're spending money. And I guarantee you can find £20 a month to whack into an ISA. I mean, you're Starbucks, right? Yeah, ES says the same thing. Most people don't have any money to invest when they're young. Nonsense. I will disagree with you 100% on that because they're going to the pub, not now obviously, but they're spending £10 a night drinking. So they can absolutely find the money. They don't want to because they want to go out and buy clothes, and they want to buy Starbucks, and they want to buy a car that they can't afford with financing, getting car loans. They want that new iPhone that's £1,000. So they can find money to invest. They just don't choose to. Back when I was a kid, I used to get pocket money, right? And it would go into a savings jar. So you can get started. I just don't buy that people don't have any money. Of course they do. They just spend it wrong. Spend it on crap they don't need. Yeah, Cheeky Boy says his first job was a paper hand. Earning money. You can earn money. Get a job when you're young. Go work at Sainsbury's. C. Whittle says, I've withdrawn from Coinbase, usually no problems. The volume today has made it crash. 100%. Absolutely right. Brian says, FTSE 100 towards the 7,000 again. Who would believe it in the current trading environment? Doesn't make any sense, right? But it does if you think about stimulus. The government gave me several £1,000s just free money. Like, you own a business, we're going to help you out. I applied for a grant. A week later, I get a payment from the UK government. I know I paid for it. That's tax money. And also I have to pay income tax on it, which is goofy. I mean, just send me less and take the tax money out. But they're giving away stimulus, and they're going to have to keep doing that. So it makes sense that the stock markets are going to keep rising. And plus, the other thing, Brian, is where else do you put your money? Tell me that. If the stock market didn't exist and you felt like cryptocurrency was the biggest scam scheme in the world, where would you put your money? You get a buy-to-let. Do you have that kind of cash to put in a buy-to-let? Most people don't. So when there's nowhere else to invest, if interest rates were better, there would be a play, right? You could just leave your money in the bank, but bonds are crap, interest rate savings crap. Nowhere else to invest unless you invest in a private business. Would you do that? I wouldn't. Done it before. Come out on the wrong end of that. Paul said, did you dabble in that new peer-to-peer company you spoke about, the one that funded crypto? Not yet, no. I haven't. I'm a little bit turned off by peer-to-peer lending, to be honest. I mean, especially trying new ones. I tend to try new ones for you guys and for the website. I think I'm going to try. I'll probably bung some money in there, but I can't say I'm overly excited about new peer-to-peer lending companies now at this point, if I'm 100% honest with you. But you get burned enough, right? And you think, do I really want to try the new ones? Because I have really good relationships with the companies that I'm investing through now. So I think, to the best of my knowledge, I have that insight of the companies and what they are and what they're not pretending to be. When I go to a new company, I don't necessarily have that insight, and it really takes some time to get that kind of relationship with the newer companies. So you know what I'm going to do, though? I'll probably invite the Lendy, the Lendy guys. P-Lend is another company too that's coming out, but I'll probably invite the Lendy guy on to come have a chat with me about it. See what he says. I'm not opposed to investing through it, but haven't so far. Your comments are funny. Thought about Stellar Coin. Not one that I've looked at. I'm looking at 4: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, and Synthetics. That's it. I own a little bit of Ripple. I own a little bit of Orchid, because I was trying to trade it and I got stuck with it. But I would say like 90% of my investment will be into Bitcoin and Ethereum at this point. A little bit will go into Chainlink and Synthetics once I do more research, because it's just something I've been learning about. You have to learn, right? You've got to. I don't just do it because I say it too. You've got to do your research and learn what these companies do. Because a lot of times people don't really know when they say things like, well, this is a Ponzi scheme. They don't know what the coin even does, what the blockchain is doing. So, yeah. Dave said, what percentage of your wealth would you risk on Bitcoin? I used to say, like 5%, but probably at this point 10, maybe 12, maybe 15. Probably not more than that. And it depends on how much you need that cash and how much money you have coming in. If you make £200,000 a year, you can afford to be able to put more into Bitcoin or into crypto. If you make £30,000 a year, you got to be careful how much you allocate into that kind of investment. Because it's harder to make up, right? It should always be a percentage. That way it's equal. But it's harder to make up if you invested like 10,000 of your salary out of 30 grand. And if something happens to that, it's a lot harder to make up if you're only making 30 than it is for somebody who invested 10,000 who makes 200,000 a year. So, oh wait, I have to put up the there we go. Join the group. Join the Financial Thing group. Go there right now. Do it. It's a good group. You'll learn something. Yeah, Mike said the problem is your average punter doesn't understand coin. So he's talking about crypto. So it's risky. No different to mini bonds. Complicated products, easy to missell to the unwary. Absolutely agree. That's why you got to research. You have to research. It's very important to understand the semantics, understand how it works, why it works, what it does, and what it's used for. That's the number one thing, right? People ask me, what the hell do I use Bitcoin for? What could it be used for? Yeah, if you don't understand that, then you shouldn't be investing in it. I know what I use it for. I use it to send money, overseas easily. And I use it as I see it as a kind of like digital gold in some ways. If you need to send money to somebody in Africa, how the hell are you going to do that? And how expensive is it going to be? How long does it take? Bitcoin. Easy. Cheap to send. Peter says, you said you wanted to buy some gold, but it's very high. Surely exactly the wrong time to buy. Is it? I mean, weren't people saying that about when the Dow Jones was 24,000? They were saying it was the wrong time to buy. How do I know? I don't know. I wish, where's the crystal ball? The crystal ball says it doesn't know when the right time to buy is. No one knows. Nobody knows. Trust me when I say that. No one knows when the right time to buy is on anything. All you can do is take your best guess. And if you're in it for the long term, if you're in it for 2 years or 1 year, I would say yes, maybe it's the wrong time. 5 years, 10 years, I remember when the Dow crashed to 7,000 points in 2009. It was the wrong time to buy, right? It was too high at 7,000. I didn't buy at 7,000. I thought, it's going to go down to 3,000. So it's impossible trying to say when the right time to buy is. Again, if you average in, like say you wanted to buy Bitcoin, right, today. Oh, let's say gold. Use gold as an example. I don't know what the price is today. Let me take a look. Give me the gold price. Okay, so 1,914. Yeah, so let's say you think 1,914 is too high. Just set a bunch of buy orders. Put in a buy order at 1,900. Put in a buy order at 1,850. Put one in at 1,700, 1,600, and set some buy orders. And then if they get filled, you'll average down. And then put in every month. Eventually it'll drop, I'm sure. But yeah, I think that's a good strategy. Chica Boy said hand sanitizer would be another cast iron investment. Would it? What about all the competition you're up against? In fact, I'm going to put that comment on the screen because I have a friend who invested $20,000 into a massive amount of hand sanitizer supplies, and he made his own hand sanitizer and couldn't sell any of it. he actually ended up donating all of it to shelters and homeless shelters and places like that, and took it as a tax write-off. So nothing is a cast iron investment. Chica boy, believe that. Alan said, I bought a lot of Range Resources, an oil exploration company who decided to become oil producers just when the oil market crashed, lost 20,000. It's a dangerous market. Did you hold it or did you sell? What did you do? The only time you lost money is when you sold. I don't know what the price is now, but maybe it rebounded. Dave says, agree, the S&P 500 beats the FTSE 100. Oh, also, one thing I forgot to tell you is back to peer-to-peer lending. I'm going to show you this on the screen. Where are we? This was a funding secure recovery that came in, I think it was last week they recovered this, sold at auction. It was a collection of jewelry. They valued it at £20,347. Thank God they didn't lend too much, because they lent down here 49.15% on it and recovered 8,900 at auction total. So there was a loss there of, I think, 16% on that jewelry recovery. There you go. Return minus 16.9%. So another poor recovery from, you see what I titled it up here? FS poo. You know? Because Funding Secure has been real poo, if anything, yeah. There you go. Let's see. I'm going to skip through these comments real quick and then wrap it up. Stephen Hale, I bought oil stocks a few years ago as a gamble. Oil crashed and lost 50% of an investment. Absolutely. I mean, market timing is everything, right? I think oil right now is, the oil stocks have lost so much in value that could be a good time to buy. I bought Lloyd's Bank when it was 24p. I know people that had it when it was bought in at 75p. It's all about timing. That's what's so hard about individual stocks. My Lloyd's Bank shares have gone up 40% since I bought them. It's just about timing. If you see a huge correction, you know, the time to buy is when everybody's selling. So that's what I did on Lloyd's. Oil, I sold Shell shares. Shell was the only individual stock I owned. I sold it back when it was 2,550 and then it tanked down to 1,100. So it was just luck. There was nothing that I knew, or I didn't have any insider information. It was just pure timing luck. So it's the problem with individual stocks. Dave says, I love the Starlink project. Me too. These satellites are going to be crashing into each other in space. It's going to be funny. Tesla stock has made Elon the world's richest man. Yep, so will Starlink too. Starlink is, if you don't know about Starlink, Google it. It's pretty amazing. It's going to really change the world. Mark Mason said, I had £100 every few months to invest in the mid-80s, buy and hold quality assets. It works. 100% agree. Apps like 212 have made it so anyone can invest. Yes, you can buy fractional shares. Peter says he's reducing his exposure in North America and replacing it with the UK and Asia. Okay. Yeah, I think personally, I think North America is going to continue to roar as long as stimulus money keeps going in. But if you just want to do a basic world tracker, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Musk's worth 128 billion. How many zeros is that? It's a lot. A ton. Unbolted is seems a bit mad at the moment, getting loads of repayments and reinvestments each day. Steve says don't invest in peer-to-peer at the moment. If I find something that's tempting and that I really get a good feeling about, I'm not opposed. Mike says, can we invest in the US GER platform? Don't know what that means. If you want to buy it, you can get a trading account in the US through Tastyworks. They allow UK investors. So yes, you can. You can also do interactive brokers. ES says, I've got overdue loans from Unbolted going back to August. How long does it take them to sell things? I've got lots of comments next to the overdue loans saying no contact. I don't know what that means, no contact, to be honest, yes. It depends what it is. So one of the issues Unbolted is going to have is the auctioning process will sometimes get held up because of COVID, closing things down. But so I don't know. It depends what it is that they're overdue on. Shouldn't take that long, though. You know what, too? I would encourage you, if something doesn't look right to you, just call the company and ask them. I'm just zipping through your comments. Chica says, with so many people dying, we should invest in undertakers. Very dark humor. Mike said, just think of what Collateral's jewelry is going to do. I know. It's terrible. Mike says, I meant, yeah, exactly. Quick show, right? I meant Lendy, which is US German. Sorry, Mike, I don't remember what your question was. Can we invest in the US German platform? Yeah, you can invest in Lendy, yeah. Because it's based in Germany. It's also unregulated, so buyer beware. Okay. Absolutely. Well, okay, I'm done. I gotta go. It's been long enough. I don't want to bore you for any. It's been a great stream. Thank you for coming. Please do me one favor before you go. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, just hit that red button and hit that bell because it helps me out immensely. My goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers by February. Almost there. We're at about 864 right now. So hit me with that subscription. Hit me with a thumbs up. Thank you all for coming. Happy New Year. I missed everybody. We'll be back next week with the regular stream, and then the 21st, Narinda from Kuflink will be here. And I love you guys. Thank you for everything. Thanks for the support through 2020. It was awesome, and I will see you guys next week. Take care. Bye.